Both Luka Doncic and Trae Young have put up big numbers to start their NBA careers, but Luka has the edge in points per game, rebounds per game, and has helped lead his team to a better record through 3 seasons. But Trae has emerged as a superstar this postseason, leading the Hawks to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, some are questioning who would be the better player to start a franchise with. Now, Perk, I have a feeling who you're going to choose just based on your opinions in the past, but who would you start a franchise with, Luka Doncic or Trae Young?
Oh, me? We start with me? I'm going with Luka.
Oh, no, I said Perk.
I thought you said Perk. Yeah, go ahead, Perk.
No, go ahead, Domonique. I want to hear what you got to say. Go ahead.
I mean, it's a tough decision because they both are great, and I think Trae Young right now is my favorite player to watch, mostly because he does the Ice Trae and because he bowed in Madison Square Garden. He got all the attitude that I want in my best player. But I'm going to go with Luka in large part because of NBA history. Like, he's a big guy who can play the point guard position, and that's what tends to win. It's not necessarily big guys that can play point guard position, but when your best player on the team is a big dude over 6'5", that's what wins championships in this league. That's the history. It's hard to argue against anything that Trae Young is doing and how deep they've made it into the playoffs this year. He's obviously doing better in the playoffs than Luka's ever done. But the first 3 years of Luka's career, he's been playing like a very mature veteran. I don't know if that's how he behaves in the locker room or around the team. That's a whole nother conversation. But on the court, he seems to make most of the right decisions. He seems comfortable in all these situations. He needs to get better on defense, obviously, but he's a big guy who can get his shot off at any moment, and that's why I would go with him because there's really very little. We showed the stats. There's very little difference statistically in what you're going to get from either of these point guards. So I defer to size, which might be a bit of a weak argument, but I don't know where else to go with this one, Perk.
Well, I'm going to tell you where I'm going with it. If I'm a GM and I'm starting a franchise, I'm taking Ice Trae. You know why? Because I know one thing, I'm going to keep my job. I'm not going to walk away or get fired or let go. See, right now what's going on in Dallas, we don't know what's going on. The coaches is walking away. The general managers, the front office, it's a disaster over there. And that goes to show me that something is going on in that locker room with their star player. When it comes down to Ice Trae, I'm looking at what he's doing and how he's doing it. Not only is he's getting buckets, but it looks like to me, guys love playing with him. I can't say the same for Luka. Porzingis look highly upset. Josh Richardson looks highly upset. Like, the difference between the two is that Trae could get others involved, and he could take a back seat and let others rock out. When I watch Luka, Luka has the ball in his hands 20 of the 24 seconds of the shot clock, and then he's passing the ball to a teammate and putting them in a bad position and saying, just catch and shoot. Trae Young, it feels like it's a joy to play with him. Yeah. So I'm going with Trae Young. Right now, what he's doing and got the Hawks to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I'm a GM, I'm keeping my job because he embraces the role of winning and team guy. He's a team guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, Trae Young has a different head coach now than he did at the beginning of the season. So I don't know how secure your job will be if you're there with Trae Young either. But I do understand everything you're saying. And you left out my man from University of Maryland, old Red Velvet, Kevin Huerter, who can cook too. They give him the ball and let him work. So I'm with you on all of that. But I think the difference is Luka holds the ball because they don't have those guys. Like, Porzingis is not the player that he was. I guess Hardaway is the guy you would want to give, but Hardaway is not the player that they have down in Atlanta. So I think that's what it boils down to. Maybe Porzingis in another situation will be different. Neither of us know. Maybe he'll be in a situation, maybe no matter what, he'll always play like James Harden did in Houston. But we see that James Harden has found another way to play with the Nets. So I'm thinking that Luka can do that in the right situation with the right players around him. That's all.
Well, you talked about big guards, and you talked about, you got to be over 6'5", and that's what's going to win you games and keep your franchise above water. Did Steph Curry die? Because last time I checked, he's only about 6'2". Okay, so when I look at Trae Young, he's also a guy that's a smaller guard, but he's a 4-level scorer. Anytime you have to make an adjustment of sending 2 guys to trap a guy and it's not in the pick and roll coverage, that means you have something special.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.